Run, river, run, run through the hills. Run, river, run to the sea. Run, river, run to your place beneath the sun. Run, river, run over me.
Hi, this is Jan Lewis. Welcome to be my guest. Today we have from Fairhaven, Massachusetts, Candace Sherman is with us. Not only is she an author and quite the master, shall we say, of crystals and diamond, that type of thing. She's a jeweler and she makes gorgeous jewelry. We'll talk all about that. Welcome.
Thank you.
She gave me the most adorable gift. She makes these pillows, and then there's a little pocket on the pillow, and she chooses
a stone.
A stone that she'd like you to have. Mine is rose quartz. I'll read to you what it says. Helps with self-love. Discover how to care for self first, then branch out to help others. And the dragonflies can stand on water, and to me, represents angels on earth. Thank you so much. I can use all the angels I can get. Yet she makes these herself. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Thank you for having me.
She has 2 books out that are fantastic. Now, if you're into stones, gemstones, stone magic, and this one is the A to Z guide. We're going to talk about this guide of healing stone properties, and the Crystal Caves, an adventure by Candace Sherman. And this is like a little story that's written about.
Yes.
Well,
about 4 children. They get trapped within a crystal cave, and in order to move forward in the cave and what turns into numerous caves, they meet different beings and they learn all different kinds of things while they're there from these different beings.
And they see a totem pole.
Yes.
I'm going to ask you, what is the meaning of a totem pole?
Well, in different tribes, I guess it does have a specific meaning. In this book, I chose the Tlingit tribe, and they're more known for in the Northwest. And for them, the totem pole is almost heraldic, where they do carvings and paintings on the totem pole that represent different things that happen within the family. And so over time, there are different symbols that are specific to their family. So you would have a totem pole outside of your residence even to greet people. And in essence, it would be a way of storytelling about the family that lives within.
That's interesting. My son's father is part Blackfoot.
Ah.
So they would have their own, I would assume.
Well, it's fascinating to me because a lot of tribes do not have totem poles, but very specifically the Tlingit tribe, they are known for it. Yeah. But in some tribes, they're a little bit more nomadic, so they wouldn't have made use really of the totem pole.
They'd have to tote them everywhere they go, literally.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Now, when did you write Crystal Caves?
How
long ago was it?
I've had it in print now, I think, for about 4 years. And I wrote it over the course of 1 year, which still surprises me. It was just something that I sat down and every day I wrote, and every day I eliminated and did a lot of self-editing and whatnot. And it's really the 3rd book that I've written. The first book that I sat down and was very conscientious about is not in print because it's a very photographic oriented book that I decided would be a coffee table version. And because of all of the photographs, it's something that is an expense to get out into print. And that book is all about the jewelry designs that I do in combination with the symbols that I utilize, and then the healing properties of different stones. And I had decided that Stone Magic would be its companion book. And at first I was going the traditional route and approaching different publishers. And I did have one publisher that was very interested, and I'm fortunate to say that the woman that I was dealing with made some recommendations that I thought were very valid, and I did follow up on. However, when it got to the highest development stage, the people that were involved didn't want that book. They wanted the Stone Magic book.
Okay.
Only they wanted photos in that book.
Oh, good Lord.
just of stones alone,
That's
though.
going to start,
Exactly.
mounting up.
And so I backed out of the project, and I said, well, at some point I'll do self-publish. And so I had those two books in the wings, and then I started in on Crystal Caves, because people that are very close to me, including my godchildren, were having children. We're having grandchildren, and at that particular point in time, I was really studying these children and their reactions to stones and the energies involved. And I decided that it would be great to have a story that children could read and teach them a little bit about the energies found in stones.
Yeah.
So that's where this book really came from. And amazingly enough, when I finished it, all of the adults that I know that have read it have loved it.
Yep.
And have turned around and said, you know, I've had crystals tucked away in drawers or in cabinets, and I didn't really know how to utilize them. Now, after reading this book, I understand more about their energies, and I'm pulling them back out, and I'm playing with them, and I'm meditating with them.
Now they know the meanings of the stones. I've got a
Yeah.
question for you. It was in I don't know if it was my great-grandmother's or what, and I think it got lost. But as a kid, I had this little ring. Is it called, is it marcasite? It's gray.
Yes.
The little shiny marcasite.
Yeah.
What is that? I couldn't find it in the book.
Marcasite is sort of a combination of, how do I want to say this? It's like a hematite, but it is also kind of glass oriented.
Glass oriented?
Yeah. So it is if I'm correct in saying this, because I could be completely wrong, but marcasite to me is not a stone all in itself. It is, and I could be totally wrong here, because when I was putting together this book, I know that I looked up marcasite and I asked different stone dealers about it, because yes, over the years it was utilized very much in jewelry making, but then for whatever reason, it's not in my frontal brain cells at this moment.
Yeah.
But I did decide not to include it because it was not in, say, a genuine form.
Yeah, it was, again, I'm so sad I lost it. It was kind of this little oblong, very intricately designed.
Mm-hmm.
And the marcasites are the shiny little, they look like diamonds in it.
Yes.
Was it valuable?
No.
No. Okay. All right.
No.
But I think it was my grandmother's or great-grandmother's. It looked ancient.
A lot of people have had rings with marcasite over the years, or earrings, or even pendants. And so you will find that in a lot of antique jewelry.
You know, I love this book, Stone Magic, and she's also written The Crystal Caves. How could they get a hold of these books?
Well, you can go to my website, which is www.clsherman.com, and you can also go into Amazon and do in their search Candace Sherman, author. And both of my books in print at this moment will pop up. And I do have a third book that's going to come out at some point this year, I'm hoping, within the next 3 months.
What's that going to be about?
It's a novel that's loosely based upon my traveling and doing fine arts and craft shows. And it still has a lot to do with the healing properties of stones. But it is a work of fiction that entails conversations with people who come into fine arts and craft shows and stop at my main character's booth. Her
Yeah.
name in the book is Vonette.
Bonnet. Not vomit. Bonnet. Okay, we got it.
Vonette with
Bonnet.
N's.
Okay.
Yes. And she is a sensitive and she is an empath. So she does talk with spirits, she sees spirits, and she feels the energies of stones, and she guides her day by what dreams she has had throughout the night.
That's interesting because I can recall them vividly.
I do too.
Can you wake up from a dream and go back into it?
Yes, yes.
That's an experience.
Yeah.
Do you have nightmares? I'll go through a period where I got a bunch of them in 1 week, then nothing. Strange.
Oftentimes, if you do some research in some of the dream books, oftentimes when you have a nightmare, it's really an opposite meaning.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you die in a dream, supposedly it's a really good message for
Yeah.
the day.
Yeah.
But sometimes you can have very precognitive dreams, and those are very important. But my character feels that her dreams are telling her what she is supposed to do and pay attention to throughout the course of the day.
We're talking with Candace Sherman, and she is an author, a jeweler, and she has written Stone Magic and The Crystal Caves. There's a sentence in Stone Magic that I really love. Holding a stone while you do so, while you're meditating, okay, as the energy connection during those meditations could surprise you, the energy connection with the stone and how you're feeling.
Yes.
I've taken meditation, I don't think with stones. An East Indian lady had a bunch of stones, but they were just sitting there with the water coming down. I loved it. I love stones and the people who will paint on them and things like that. Now, I'm going to her table of contents. This is really something. All right. You've taken everything from alabaster, agate, it goes by alphabetical order. What is your favorite stone?
Oh gosh, I can't say that I have one. I change my jewelry and my stones daily. And if I don't have a stone made up in a piece of jewelry, then I usually take a tumbled stone or even a faceted one that is in my stock waiting to be made into something.
And you put it into your jewelry.
I tuck it into my bra. So
Ooh, okay. This is a G-rated program here. Paul, can you hold that up a little so Paul?
yes.
Can you see her jewelry? Can you zero in on that? And stay from there. It's beautiful. What are the gems on that?
This is aquamarine with a keshi pearl, and the clasp is part of the design.
Is the earrings to match? Are they?
Yes. Uh-huh. And then I also have a ring here that is also with a keshi pearl. And these are in 14 and 18 karat white and yellow gold. And they're one of a kind.
Where have you been appearing to get this word out about your books and your jewelry?
Well, because of COVID, I'm afraid that I stepped back like everybody else, and I've been working out of my studio at home. And then I do private consultations. And I'm just starting to get back into shows this summer, so I'm going to be doing a show in Marion at the beginning of July. It's called Arts in the Park.
Yes, there's lots of places coming back. I know as a publicist I have to find places for my people, but all these artsy, craftsy festivals, they're all over New England. They're coming, it's like they're coming out of the woodwork now. It's like the indie bookstores.
Yes.
Everybody's opening up more.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
It really, really is. Now, There is oh, I know, emerald. What does an emerald stand for?
Well, emerald is part of the beryl family, and there are a lot of stones and color that are attributed to the generalization of beryl, and that's the mineral makeup. But you can get into aquamarine and emerald. Those are two very specific named beryls.
Right.
So aquamarine that I have on is considered a beryl. Emerald is also beryl. And it depends upon where you find the stone as to what sort of color range and what sort of value it might hold. Like the Brazilian emeralds right now are the ones that are most desirous, and they have a beautiful color green that has just a tint of yellow to them that I like. There's also deeper, almost plant colored, I guess you could call it almost a forest green emerald that a lot of people have gravitated to over the years. But my favorite has the yellow tone to it.
Princess Diana's ring, I always admire. I know that her son's wife now wears it. That was an emerald, right?
No, that was a sapphire.
Okay, sapphire.
Yes.
I love sapphire surrounded by. What's sapphire stand for?
Well, it depends on what color.
That rich blue she has.
Yeah. It ties in with intuition.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It does.
I like
when
that.
you think about her life
Oh,
and how her life developed, especially after marriage.
she was a lamb to the slaughter. You know, to be very blunt, he wasn't in love with her. He just, well, we got a producer there, and yeah, she'll do. This
That's
poor
it.
kid.
I know.
And she was fascinating, beautiful, smart. She had to use her intuition. She knew there was that stuff going on. She knew it.
Yes.
What was she going to do? Her sister said, "You can't back out now, Dutch for Duchess. Dutch, your name is on the face or the tea towels. Your face is already on the tea towels." I'm thinking, you know, that had to. She was what, 19, and he was 30 something.
Yeah.
Good night. So, why is that? What is hawk's eye?
Hawk's eye is, well, it's part of the quartz family. There are so many stones that are part of the quartz family. Even opal is part of the quartz family. But tiger's eye, because of the other minerals that are surrounding it as it's forming, it becomes like an eye because of the difference in colors. It will be a brown and then a honey color.
Oh,
And because it is a quartz, when it is cut right, there will be a streak of that honey color amongst the brown. And when the light plays off of it, it becomes almost like a cat's eye.
wow, yeah. That's fascinating.
Yeah, just the same as when you get into star rubies or star sapphires, literally, if they are cut properly, a star will bounce off of them because of how the light hits them.
Yeah.
The same thing happens with a tiger's eye
Yeah.
or even a hawk's eye. Hawk's eye is the bluer version of the tiger's eye.
I was born in August, and I know it's peridot or sardonyx or.
Yeah, peridot.
I'm not crazy about the color. Okay, it's
Yeah.
not one I would choose.
Uh-huh.
But my parents had given me they've a little ring, how many carat gold ring, with a peridot in it. Do you think people like to have stones that are representative of their birth month?
Some people love it and drape themselves in it. Other people don't like it, like yourself.
I don't. It's not that I hate it. I'm just not attracted to it.
Then you don't need that energy. You must already have it.
What is the
Because-
peridot energy, Candace?
Well, peridot has a lot to do with creative energy.
I go, oh, don't give me any more, God. Oh, I've got creative energy coming in and out. Oh, my God.
So there you go. So you don't have need for it.
Yeah.
You've got it innately. And I do too.
All right, when were you? Which month's your birth?
I was born in October, so
Oh.
I am opal.
Oh, that's right. My father was an October 6th baby. Okay.
And opal has to do with clearing away the cobwebs.
Yeah.
So, in essence, if you think about a spider creating a web, when you look at that, the spider is creating the web so that it will catch its food. So if you think about that with opal,
Yeah.
there are some cobwebs that you're going to want to clear away, and there are others that you want to remain intact so that you can bring in the things that you do need in order to digest and continue on with life.
That is fascinating. Now, the other topic, besides doing the stone and writing these wonderful books, by the way, before I forget, the Crystal Caves and Stone Magic, are you going to be bringing some downstairs to the dedicated authors wall?
I can do that.
Good,
yes.
you can pick them up there. And again, how can they reach you and your books?
You can give me a call even at 401-662-2462, or you can go to my website, which is www.clsherman.com.
Do you custom make your jewelry? If somebody
I do.
requests, you do.
I do. I've gotten a little bit away from it over the past few years, and each of my pieces are one of a kind, so anything that anybody does make purchase of, they can say that it was made for them because in essence it was.
There are no two things alike.
No, and I do feel the energy as I am creating a piece, and I do trust that it goes to the right person for the right reasons.
Now, you do earrings, and you do the beautiful necklaces to go with them, bracelets?
Yes,
Wow.
and rings.
That is fantastic.
Yep.
So, you're appearing in July. That's your next place.
Yes,
Where is it going to be again?
and Marion, Mass. And it's a one-day show. You can go online and look up Arts in the Park in Marion. And then I'm doing an online show with Friends of Nantucket. That's Nantucket, Mass. And that is also in July.
How far would you go? People are watching the show. Maybe they'd like to have you appear in their event or whatever. How far are you willing to travel?
Well, I have traveled all the way down to Florida and back.
By driving?
Yes.
Oh my God! Are you like me? You won't get in a flying coffin. I will not get in a
Well,
plane.
when you have as much equipment
Oh.
that you need in order to do one of these shows, you know, you have to have your tent, you have to have all of your display equipment,
Yep.
and ladders and everything else. So
And you're doing it all alone.
yes.
That's amazing. Can you bring a friend along with you to help
Yes,
you?
I
Oh, good,
can.
good, good.
Yeah.
I tell a lot of people if you're taking part, in a fair or whatever, and you got your table space,
Yeah.
for God's sake, bring a friend, your husband, your wife, somebody to sit there while you go to the John, or you want to walk around.
Exactly.
Because just to leave your space,
I know.
especially with your jewelry, you can't just leave it.
No.
There's no way.
No. And also the fascinating thing to me is that people often think that when you're traveling to these shows that you are like on vacation.
No.
It's
You're not.
really hard work.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. There's a lot that goes into it. Plus, basically sitting there for what? It starts at 9 or 10, and some shows are very strict. You will not leave until we're over at 4 or 5, whatever. It's
Yes. And you
Oh.
have to get there much earlier than the show opens and get your whole tent completely set up.
Yeah.
Some shows you have to set up the day of the show, and other shows you set up the day ahead.
like, you look forward to it, or you dread it?
Well, at this particular juncture, I am looking forward because at this show in Marion, as well as in Nantucket, I'm going to be showing not only my jewelry, but also my painted furniture,
You're into that
my
too.
wall art.
Oh my God.
And then I also do make pillows,
Yeah.
but, actual pillows
Yeah,
for
sure.
bedding and whatnot. And then I also do fascinator hats. So,
Aren't those the kind that they wear a lot in Britain to Ascot?
yes.
Those are amazing. Some of them are
So-
ridiculous. Others are gorgeous.
So for the Derby,
Yeah.
a lot of people are wearing them to weddings as well.
Mhm.
And then if you have any kind of a tea celebration, that's a perfect place to wear them.
What would you suggest of all the stones for a person who loves people, is a connector, that type of thing, gets them out there and helps them get noticed? What kind of stone is best for that?
For getting noticed?
No, for a person, well, like myself, who's a connector, just it comes naturally. If I know somebody and I hear this, you too should, connect. What's a good stone for that? People who are, I read about sensitive and empathic, and I have to be very careful because I could get too empathic with somebody who is suffering, and I know it's happening. It's like you have to just detach with love, as they say. It's tough.
Well, then the stone that I brought you today is
Yeah,
a perfect
the caretaker
example
stone.
because rose quartz does
Yeah.
help you to focus in on what is right for you at this moment.
Right.
And then when you come from a place of strength, then you know whose energy to tie in with.
Sure.
But
Connecting is a big thing. I'm just wondering if there was any particular stone for those of us who are absolutely, I think I was born that way, I don't know. But we have been talking with Candace Sherman, and she is an author, also a beautiful jewelry designer. She's the author of The Crystal Caves and The A to Z Guide of Healing Stone Properties. So if you have questions along the line, this is great to be able to have this with you, because you can say, gee, I just saw this at a sale or a fair, the stone, and I want to know what it means. Why was I attracted to it?
that's it.
Really?
That was my point in creating that book.
I think, okay, the emerald, is it what's the one Diana had? Emerald.
That
No.
was sapphire.
Okay, I'll get that. I love. And then I think the people born in July have a blood red stone on them.
That's ruby. Ruby and sapphire are actually the same mineral.
Oh,
They're
my
both
God.
corundum. But sapphire runs from clear all the way up to black.
Yeah.
And so there is a pink sapphire as well. But the real red is called ruby.
What does that mean? What is a ruby stone?
Ruby to me connects with the Kundalini, which the Eastern,
Chakras?
yes, is found at the base of the spine.
Yeah.
And the yogi masters feel that is the place of all energy flow. But for me, I feel that because of the color and in our society, I believe that it really goes along with the heart and true passion as well as true hate, because really they're the flip side of the same coin. So when you start thinking about being in love and having that kind of passion, ruby could be perfect. But if you're somebody who harbors ill will or feels rejected or whatnot, ruby might not be the perfect stone for you, because it might just magnify that energy.
That is so interesting. We could spend an hour here or more talking about this. We'll have you back on the show. Well, thank you for being with us.
Absolutely. I
Thank
hope
you.
you'll have me back when my novel is out.
Oh, that's right. That's coming out. You think
I hope within the next 3 months.
you're gonna let me know? That'd be
Yeah.
awesome.
That one is called Stepping Stones.
She's right up there.
Yeah.
And you're from Fairhaven. How long did it take you to get here?
Just over an hour.
It wasn't too bad.
No, it wasn't bad at all.
Thank you for being with us, Candace.
Absolutely.
We'll
Thank
see you
you
next
for
time
having
and
me.
be my guest.
Riding on a shooting star, heading out toward a dream. Tomorrow's even closer than it seems.